What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new treasure map lore that is going to be arriving in the next couple of days on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. Now, as we like to do with these videos, we're not only going to be talking about each of the boss stages, we're also going to be talking about the unit themselves, the actual character that you're going to be farming for in the treasure map, which is obviously the brand new Trafalgar Law. And also, there's going to be some free-to-play options for you guys in this video to go ahead and aim for to build teams so you can actually take on this treasure map. There won't be too many pay-to-play options in this video, however, you guys should just be building upon the teams that I do suggest to you guys in this video, and that's going to put you on the track to beating this treasure map a lot easier. So, without further ado, guys, we're going to be going ahead and get straight into it. Just before we get into it, though, if you guys want to go ahead and leave a like, that would be greatly appreciated, because these videos in particular do take quite a long time in research and also just taking time to put up these graphics for you guys, so I would appreciate it. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get straight into the video. So first thing is first, let's go ahead and take the time to talk about the brand new Trafalgar Law character that we're all going to be farming for on the next treasure map. So here we go. Trafalgar Law is a strength fighter slasher character, and at max level, at level 99 with his max limit break, he has 3,340 HP, 1,632 attack, and 369 recovery. So overall, stats are very good, and he has 60 cost like all other treasure mode characters, and 5 socket spots when you get him to max limit break. Now, when you do get him to max limit break, he'll have the upgraded captain effect, where it states that he's going to boost fighter, slasher, cerebral, and free spirit characters attack by 1.8 times each, or if you have a character that has both of those classes, you get 3.24 times boost. Which is actually very similar to Legend Katakuri. If you guys have used him before, he does a very similar sort of captain effect in terms of how he boosts the actual crew members. So it's actually pretty decent when you do have the right team. 3.24 is very good as a constant boost on your team. And on top of this, he'll also make recovery and tandem orbs beneficial to those 4 classes in fighter, slasher, cerebral, and free spirit. So in my personal opinion, I do think that Trafalgar Law is like honestly one of the best treasure map captains that we've had thus far. A very nice boost to have accessible to you a lot of the time, which is really good. And there are lots of good characters that do have all of those specific classes that can be overlapped very easily, so that's really nice. Now, in terms of his special ability, the good thing about it is it maxes at 8 goddamn turns, and it states that he's going to deal 30 times his attack in strength damage to one enemy. On top of that, he also reduces 2 turns of bind and despair, and he'll also change adjacent and his own orb into matching, and on top of that, he adds 0.7 to the chain multiplier for 1 turn, and on top of that, reduces the cooldowns of fighter, slasher, cerebral, and free spirit characters by 1 turn. So this guy does absolutely crazy amounts of things. He does damage, he does bind and despair removal, he gives you really nice orb manipulation, he gives you a chain boost and cooldown reduction. He does 5 separate things with 1 special ability, and one of the great things about this character in particular, I haven't stated it on this panel here, but he does get a sailor ability, which states that whenever his special gets rewinded, he gets 2 turns of cooldown reduction on himself. So he's an amazing unit to have whenever you are in a situation where your entire crew gets their specials rolled back. He is an amazing sub to have for that particular circumstance. So Trafalgar Law will definitely be a usable character in upcoming content. So I know some people out there for some reason like to skip treasure maps. This is definitely not a character that you want to skip out on. Okay, so now we can get into breaking down each of these boss stages. So the first one that we're going to be talking about is going to be against Beppo. So Beppo is a quick unit, and at nav level 1, he has 400,000 health, and he gains 40,000 per nav level, and also he starts off at 4,100 attack, and he gains 205 attack per nav level. His preemptive attack will have all of the enemies having a barrier. They all have a 19 turn, 5 hit combo barrier. Also, they will give you a full board of block orbs as soon as you enter the final room as well. Now, also on attack, the fodder characters will paralyze you for 2 turns, and I believe it's going to be a single character for 2 turns, or it could be the whole crew for 2 turns. Either way, you don't want to deal with that. You want to take down the fodder characters as fast as possible. And also below 50% health, Beppo will enrage all of the enemy side of the field. They get an additional 1.5 times attack when they are enraged, so you do not want to get him below 50%, but typically you want to be bringing a character that can deal lots of damage towards Beppo. Now, talking of characters that are going to be helping you out in this fight, this is the team that I have suggested. Basically, you're just using the Coliseum Kid special to bypass the barrier once you do your taps, and then letting his special do all the hard work. You obviously have a lot of other characters accessible. You can definitely switch out a lot of characters on this team. The main important part of this team, though, as I said, is the Coliseum Kid. You probably need someone to get rid of the block orbs if you want to go ahead and do that. I don't think I did that with this particular example, but either way, this team is extremely flexible. Beppo is one of the easier bosses for this fight, so you shouldn't really have to worry about him too much. Moving on to the next boss is another quick boss, which is going to be Sachi and Penguin. They start off at nav level 1 with 390,000 health, gaining 39,000 per nav level, and also starting off with 3,800 attack and gaining 190 attack per navigation level. Their preemptive attack will go ahead and give you a 50% attack down for 3 turns, as well as preemptively switching your orbs to either bomb orbs or empty orbs. Now, this is by far the easiest fight in all of the treasure map for this particular treasure map. It's extremely easy because that's literally all they do, and then on turn 2 or every 2 turns after that, they will go ahead and give you a full crew paralysis for 1 turn. And again, there are sailor effects that can completely get rid of that. This is by far the easiest fight of the treasure map, and you guys are seeing here, this is a team completely free to play that is able to beat it very easily. Now, the main component of this team is that free to play Halloween Katakuri that did come out a few weeks back. Hopefully you guys farmed that, because he is quintessential for this fight, for making it extremely easy in terms of free to play, because his special alone gets rid of the attack down, gives you the full board of matching orbs, changing the bomb and empty orbs that you are given, and also gives a cerebral type boost when your captain is cerebral. So because of that, we are just building a cerebral team based around Katakuri. So obviously we've got the treasure map Sabos as captains. We also have access to Invasion Sengoku. I know he's extremely difficult to get, but you do not need him. He is basically here just as an orb booster, but you could definitely put just any other orb booster on this team, like Zoro and Sanji. Even though they're not cerebral units, they can give you a really nice boost to your Dex characters. And then we've got treasure map Shanks and also Raid Cracker. So far the bosses that we've talked about with Beppo and Sachi and Penguin have been very straightforward and actually really easy compared to a lot of the other bosses that we've seen in previous treasure maps. Now, the last 2 bosses are Luffy and Usopp, and these 2 are going to be very, very annoying. Now, I would suggest that if you don't have the right characters for these specific crews that I am going to suggest, that you would probably take them down in the mid-map, specifically Usopp. Usopp is very annoying to deal with, but let's talk about Luffy first. So Luffy is a Psi unit, and he starts off at navigation level 1 with 710,000 HP, and he gains 71,000 per nav level, and he also starts off with 4,400 attack, gaining 220 attack per nav level. His preemptive attack is very straightforward, only giving you a full board of negative orbs, so there are plenty of characters that can manipulate them around to give you some matching orbs. Also, below 20%, he will blow away 2 characters permanently, so do not get him below 20% under any circumstance. Now, when you actually kill off Luffy, he will actually recover half of his health, and he deals 0.75 of his attack value dealt to your crew. Now, obviously, as you scale up with your treasure map levels, that attack value that he does to you will be more and more and more. So I would suggest in later nav levels, you will probably be required to have some sort of damage reducer. Also, when he is fully revived, or when he half revives, he gives himself attack up and also full immunity. So you cannot delay him, reduce his defense, or poison him when he revives. And he has 3 turns of damage reduction. So you definitely need a character that can remove 3 turns of Rainbow Shield damage reduction. So the team that I've suggested to take on the Luffy fight is actually a double treasure map Cavendish team. Now, the way that this team functions is when you are about to kill Luffy, you want to make sure that you've activated your Fortnite Amand special, because she actually provides a damage reduction effect, and also she's a health cutter as well, so she's very, very good. And also the fact that on the preemptive attack, you get given a full board of badly matching orbs. Now, Cavendish actually makes badly matching orbs back into positive orbs, which is awesome. So you can use him, and on top of that, you get an attack boost and an orb boost, and then on top of that, you can use your treasure map NL special to then lock those orbs so you can keep them for the revived state. And then obviously once you kill him, you can go ahead and use any other special that you really need. Raid Zora is very useful here because he removes the 3 turns of damage reduction on Luffy, as well as providing you with the color affinity boost to your driven units. So this team just works really well, and it basically gets around all of the different things that Luffy will try and do to your team. So if you guys are struggling to build a team against Luffy, this team should be able to work for a reasonably good amount of time against him. And now we can get to the final of the Battle Rush bosses, which is going to be Usopp. Usopp is by far the most annoying of all of these treasure map bosses, aside from the final boss, of course, which can be quite annoying. But Usopp is a Dex character, and at navigation level 1, he has 550,000 health, and he gains 55,000 per nav level, and starts off at navigation level 1 with 3,600 attack, and he gains 180 per nav level. Now, his preemptive attack is going to give himself 5 turns of immunity, so no defense down, no poison, no delay. Also, for 3 turns, he's going to halve your chain coefficient, and then also, your captain will be despaired for 7 turns, and you are target locked to Hajuden. Now, Hajuden has 1 million health, and I am pretty sure that that might scale per navigation level. I'm pretty sure it will, so it's going to be quite annoying. Like, he's going to be quite annoying very, very quickly. Also, on turn 2, basically, you're going to get despaired for your friend captain for 7 turns instead of your captain. So you've got to make sure that like you can take them down in turn 1. Otherwise, you're going to have to deal with a lot of different debuffs here. So it's quite annoying. There's so many different annoyances that you have to get around with this particular stage. And I think that this is easily the one that you want to be targeting off in the mid-map. So the team I'm suggesting to you guys against Usopp is going to be a treasure map ace team utilizing Coliseum Tamago. You also have that chopper, the Halloween chopper from literally like 2015, and the reason why he's on this team is because he's the best free-to-play unit that you have access to that can remove despair. That's also a point booster in this treasure map. He removes 3 turns of despair, so that is going to be quite useful. And also, obviously, this team would require you to have max despair sockets, and if you do not, then this team probably will not work as effectively as it should be. Also, you have Jack here because Jack will enable you to deal lots of damage towards Hajuden, dealing 1.1 million damage, I think it is, if there's 4 enemies. So that is also going to be very, very useful. And then you've also got Coliseum Oven, because Coliseum Oven is very, very useful in allowing you to not only deal lots of damage towards the enemy, which can help you not only take down Hajuden, but it can deal damage towards Usopp depending on your situation. But he also gives you an ore boost, which is going to be so useful, as well as you have the aces, of course, which not only give you the full board of orbs, but also provide a type boost. So this team actually would work effectively, but I think it's just a lot easier if you take down Usopp in the mid-map, to be quite honest. And now we've finally made it to the final boss against Chopper. So Chopper on stage 6, this is not the final boss stage, this is the mini boss stage. He has 400,000 health at nav level 1, gaining 40,000 per nav level. And also he starts off with 3,702 attack, gaining 185 attack per nav level. His preemptive attack is going to give you 99 turns of recovery down, so you are basically recovering nothing with the recovery orbs, and also will have a 99 turn delay immunity, so you can still reduce his defense and you can still poison him, but you can not delay him at all. He also, for 10 turns, will increase the rate of quick and recovery orbs appearing on your team, and he also has 3 turns of damage threshold, so you definitely need a unit that can remove that damage threshold on stage 6. Once stage 6 is taken care of, you'll be moving on to the final boss stage against stage 7 Chopper. He starts off with 1 million health, gaining 100,000 per nav level, and also will have 4,400 attack on navigation level 1, gaining 220 attack per nav level. His preemptive strike will apply 8 turns of poison immunity, so this is great because you can still reduce his defense, and you can also delay this stage as well. Also, for 5 turns, recovery and quick orbs are going to be counting as non-beneficial or non-matching to your team, which is very, very annoying considering they are treated like they're going to be appearing more often because of stage 6's preemptive attack. So that is quite an annoying thing to deal with. Also, for 2 turns, he has a very high increased defense buff, the blue shield defense buff, which according to some statistics that I have found, apparently it's a 500,000 defense buff that he'll have. So that's going to be quite annoying. So either you need to find some sort of way to remove that or have a defense reducer on this particular fight. Also, do not use any sort of ability that will boost your orb effects, because for 10 turns he is going to slot bind your crew. Very annoying to deal with. And also under 20%, he's going to deal 3 times his attack towards you, as well as enrage for 5 turns and have a 2-turn damage nullification where he takes no damage. So you definitely do not want to keep him under 20%. So the team that I'm suggesting to you guys here, obviously having a friend captain Zephyr is going to be the best case scenario for allowing you to beat this particular fight. So what the whole structure of this team is to basically use Kuma on stage 6, which can remove the damage threshold that the stage 6 chopper will have. Also, Burundi World is useful because he's the best free-to-play shooter attack booster, and because we obviously want to be abusing a friend captain Zephyr because Zephyr is a 2x point booster, then obviously having Burundi World makes a lot of sense. And also on this team, we've got the Boa as a captain, and Boa is very important because you need to have the Boa as the captain and also your Zephyr as the friend captain for this team to work, because you need to make sure that on that final boss stage, you are given a int orb on your Boa Hancock, and that is very difficult to do with natural orbs, considering that quick and recovery are going to be appearing more often on your team. So the way around this is obviously with just using Zephyr's special ability, which can give you a full board of orbs to your shooter characters, and then you can use your Boa special ability to get the 1.75 times self-proccing conditional boost against the final boss against Chopper. And then the Jola and NL are basically replaceable characters. They're just on here just to get extra boosts for your team. They don't really do much at all. You don't even get the combo boost from NL because your captain has to be a driven character. But I would suggest do not bring any quick characters, because when you go ahead and use the special ability of Zephyr to get the full board of orbs, you got to remember that quick and recovery are counted as negative on the preemptive attack. So unless if you have a way to get rid of that, then this isn't really going to work. If you guys have rare recruit Gotti from the Capone batch, he is very useful here. You can use Gotti's special ability before you kill stage 6, and then when you move on to the final boss stage, you won't get that special buff where the orbs are counted as negative because you already have a buff from Gotti's special ability. So if you have him, he is like the best replaceable unit to put on this team, and that enables you to deal way more damage, as you'll be able to get matching orbs on your quick characters, which is very, very useful. But we are not done yet, guys. We have to talk about the intrusion fight against Trafalgar Law. Yes, that is returning, which is awesome to see. You will be able to fight Trafalgar Law in the middle of the map, where he intrudes you when you ever encounter the treasure mode bird, which is cool, allowing you to get a lot more better drops, like more potions and stuff like that. So talking about Law, he's a strength unit, of course. He starts off with 1.6 million health, and he gains 160,000 health per nav level. Also starting off with 7,400 attack, gaining 370 per nav level. His preemptive attack will apply 99 turns of immunity, so say goodbye to delays and defense down. And he also will bind both of your captains for 4 turns and apply 2 turns of damage reduction. So there you go. You need to have some way to remove at least 1 turn of bind, because with sockets you'll be able to get around that, and at least a way to remove 2 turns of damage reduction. Also, every 2 turns, he'll go ahead and 2-turn swap your captain with one of your sub characters. So again, you probably want to be killing him very, very quickly. So definitely have, the characters that can remove the bind and the damage reduction. And below 20%, Law will cut your health in half and also apply 20 turns of paralysis to every single character on your crew. Again, just do not get him below 20% and just kill him before the second turn. So the team that I'm suggesting for you guys is essentially the same sort of team that was going to be used against Chopper. However, this time around, instead of having Giola and NL on the team, you're basically just replacing them with, well, number 1, Gladius. Gladius is very important because he removes Bind and Despair for your captains, which is obviously very, very useful to have. And then you can have your Kuma once again, who can remove the damage reduction on the final boss stage. And then we have Colosseum Rizo just as a filler free-to-play character that is a quick unit that does lots of damage. Now remember, comparing this team to the previous team, on the Chopper stage, you get that negative orb enable for quick orbs, but this is not available on the Law stage, so it means that your quick units are actually going to be getting matching orbs. So this team will actually deal way, way more damage compared to the previous team that we just showed against Trafalgar Law. So now we've pretty much finished. We've pretty much gone through every single bit of information that you guys need for the upcoming treasure map against Law, but here is the full breakdown of all the teams that I have suggested along the way in this video. So first of all, the Beppo team, you're basically allowing your kid special to do the heavy lifting for this team, and if you guys want to, you can bring a unit that can get rid of the block orbs that are given to you. I would highly suggest that as well. Moving on to Sachi and Penguin, we have the double treasure map Sabo team. Katakuri is the most useful character on this team, allowing you to get rid of the attack down, giving you your board of orbs, as well as giving you a slight type boost to cerebral characters. So building a cerebral team around that Katakuri is the way to go ahead and beat that particular stage. Following that, here is the team against Usopp, which is using the double treasure mode ace. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, I would highly suggest to just kill Usopp in the mid-map because he is by far the most annoying boss to take down. And if you have 6+V1 Sanji, he's actually going to be useful for this fight because you can go ahead and use his captain action before you reach that final boss stage to basically bypass the despair that is given to your team. So that's what I would suggest if you have him. Otherwise, this team will also work for a reasonable amount of time. I'm not really too certain how long it will work for, but it is able to work. Moving up now to the Luffy team. This team actually works surprisingly well. This team, you know, utilizing a full driven squad. We have the ability to get our full board of orbs from the Cavendish special ability, making badly matching into matching. And then we can go ahead and use our NL special to lock those orbs after we kill him, because after we kill him, he revives. And then we can use the Raid Zora special ability to get rid of the damage reduction upon revival. And then we also have access to another you know, Cavendish special. So, you know, there's just really good things with this team, and it is able to beat Luffy for a reasonable amount of time. And then we have the two teams against Chopper and Law, nearly the same team, but with some slight changes that we had just talked about, with the two bottom characters changing out the Joel and NL. They can be literally any other shooter character that you want to bring. However, as I said before, with the Chopper stage, I would suggest not bringing quick shooter characters, as they won't get matching orbs, unless if you have the quick rare recruit Gotti, because you can use his special on stage 6 before you kill stage 6 to ensure your quick characters will be getting matching orbs. And then against the Law stage, having the Colosseum Gladius is very useful, as he'll be able to remove the bind that is given to your captains on that stage. And then because there is no negative orb enable for your quick orbs, then Colosseum Riser is a very good quick free-to-play shooter to have to just give you a little bit more damage. So that brings us to the end of the video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned something for taking on the upcoming treasure map against Trafalgar Law. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button down below. As I said earlier, this video does take a very long time to make, so I would appreciate all the support. And if you guys want to stay up to date with all of the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.